Back in 1995, and I just finished doing a PhD, and at that point I was really at a crossroads where my life was leading. I began to sense God's call. I was working in South Leeds, in the communities of South Leeds, where a lot of people also had issues to do with sort of high unemployment, sort of low self-esteem, lack of confidence and so on. But equally lack of confidence within the communities as a whole, and the sense in which those communities were viewed by the sort of city as a whole. I think one of the challenges was just recognising the enormity of issues that there were that potentially we could be engaged in, and I guess recognising the limitation of my capacity, but equally the capacity of the people that I was working alongside too. And the crux of that came when I reached a point about 5 years ago where I ended up having to take some time off work because I'd simply, in a sense, been giving so much in so many ways in so many different places that I could no longer do that. And that became a turning point for me as I began to recognise that I had to be a lot more focused and disciplined in the ways in which I was using my time and energy, and really seeking to identify what is God's calling at that particular time. One of the things I'm beginning to wrestle with is what it means to be open and vulnerable within leadership. And in being open, we become vulnerable because we allow ourselves to be open to go into a place where we don't necessarily know where we're heading. One of the insights that's really been challenging has come out of a sabbatical that I had earlier this year, and a sense of ministry of reconciliation being a sort of key feature to, in a sense, what I seek to bring to ministry. I think what that means is reconciliation in terms of how we seek to bring reconciliation both with God, but equally reconciliation between people and what that looks like. And one of my roles at the Huddersfield Mission is one in which we engage with a very wide variety of people from a wide variety of backgrounds. And actually the mission becomes a place where people who live in the same town but who wouldn't otherwise meet because their experiences, their backgrounds, their cultures are so different. And yet what we find is that they meet together in the mission. And I think I want to think about what that means for me as a leader within the mission, to think about how we work with that dynamic in terms of our worship life, in terms of Bible study, in terms of how we engage with people, how we become as inclusive as we possibly can be within the recognition that we are sinful human beings and that we'll never be perfect,